Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Journal. And this week, for the first time in a while, I feel genuinely hopeful. Because this week, I booked my first official 60-minute session for Mental Health Awareness Week. It's a chance, I guess, for me to go into an organisation, share my story, share some of my lived experience, and maybe, just maybe, get people to stop for a moment, to pause and question the version of success we've all been sold. And honestly, it really means a lot. It's when you start something like this, when you put yourself out there, when you speak openly about mental health, identity, purpose, success, there are moments where you wonder, is anyone actually listening? You wonder whether people are watching, whether any of this is landing, whether the conversations are making a difference. But this week reminded me, maybe they are listening. Maybe people are watching quietly from a distance. Maybe seeds are being planted. Maybe some people are starting to think a little bit differently. And maybe some are finally taking action. And for me, this feels like the start. Not the finish line, not success in the traditional sense, but movement, a moment, a ripple. Maybe we're moving the needle just a little. And what's interesting, the timing of this couldn't have been more relevant. Because this week, the twins prepare for their SATs. I found myself thinking deeply about the education system and the message we give children from such an early age. The twins were telling me that some of their friends are feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit worried, maybe even a little bit stressed. 10, 11 years old. I mean, come on. And honestly, makes me really, really angry. Because what are we actually doing here? Why are children already feeling like they're about to be judged? Like their value is attached to a score. Like success or failure can somehow be decided by a test on paper on one particular day. And what damage does that do? What happens when a child gets a low score? What story do they begin telling themselves internally? I'm not smart, I'm behind, maybe I'm not good enough. And the truth is, these tests are measuring such a tiny fraction of who somebody is. Mainly is how much information they can retain and then regurgitate. That's it. But life is so much bigger than the academic performance. And yet our system still largely measures children through one lens: academic intelligence. Meanwhile, the things that actually shape a human life, emotional intelligence, self-worth, kindness, resilience, creativity, communication, presence, relationships, they barely even get a mention. And I think that's one of the reasons I feel so driven to continue this work. Because yes, I know I can create impact through the podcast, through the work with men, through corporate conversations, through the events, I guess, and storytelling. But real change, the real change, that only happens when we start earlier. When children are taught emotional literacy, when they understand their feelings, when they learn self-worth beyond achievement, when school begins valuing human skills, not just academic scores. Because maybe then we don't just respond to the mental health crisis later in life. Maybe we help prevent parts of it in the first place. And that's why I wanted to finish this episode a little bit differently. Because I know there may be children listening this week, or parents, or teachers. Maybe someone out there needs this reminder. So this is a little poem and it's called You Are Enough. Tomorrow You'll walk into class full of sharpened pencils, silent desks, big feelings, little hearts carrying far more pressure than children were ever meant to carry. Before you begin, I need you to hear this. You are enough. Not because of a score, not because of a number printed on a page, not because someone, somewhere, decides whether you are working towards, meeting, or exceeding expectations. You are enough already. These tests, they're measuring a very small part of you, a snapshot, a moment, a memory exercise about how much information you can hold on to from one particular day. But you're so much bigger than that, because there are many forms of intelligence. Can a SATs paper measure how kind you are when another child feels left out? Can it measure the imagination inside your mind when you build worlds nobody else can see yet? Can it measure how deeply you care, how hard you love, how brave you've been through things nobody even knows about? Can it measure laughter? Can it measure creativity? Can it measure curiosity? Your ability to make someone smile on the hardest of days? No test can measure that. And yet, those are the things that will shape your life the most. Years from now, people will not ask you what score you got in your SATs. Your future friends won't ask. Your future partner won't ask. Your children won't ask. People whose lives you change won't ask either. Because what they will remember is how you made them feel. Were you kind? Were you curious? Did you help people? Did you stay true to yourself? Did you dream? Did you love? Did you get back up when life got hard? That is the real test. And here's something else. These tests often say more about systems and schools than they do about children. Because some children are artists, some are storytellers, some are builders, some are carers, some are deep thinkers, some are leaders, some are quiet observers who notice beauty in places the world rushes past. And some minds were never meant to fit neatly inside boxes. So tomorrow, do your best. If your best feels brilliant, amazing. And if your best simply means showing up when you feel nervous, then that counts too. If today feels hard, that's okay as well. Because your worth has never depended on perfect answers. You're not a grade. You're not a number. You're not a ranking on a spreadsheet. You're a once-in-a-lifetime human being with magic in your heart, ideas in your mind, and a story still being written. So take a deep breath before you begin, and remember this: long after papers are packed away, long after scores are forgotten, long after this week has passed, the most important thing about you will still be who you are. And you are already enough. Until next week. You alright, mate?